Hi, I'm Josh Lockheed, Training Evangelist here at QuoteWerks. In this video, we're going to walk you through how to set up the Autotask integration with QuoteWerks Web. The Autotask integration with QuoteWerks Web has many integration points, including contact support, product support, opportunity support, scheduling account to-dos, exporting purchase orders, and receiving ordered items. So let's get started. To set up your Autotask integration, open QuoteWerks Web and click on the Contacts drop-down menu, then Set up Contact Manager. At the very top, you'll see a drop-down menu that asks you to select your primary CRM integration. For today's purposes, we will select Autotask. Below this, you will see a list of all the CRMs that QuoteWerks Web integrates with. Go ahead and select Autotask. This will bring you to a page that gives you the ability to set your API login credentials, user credentials, and access the integration settings and DataLink options. Under the Autotask Connection section, you'll input your API username and password. Once you've done so, you should click the Test button to test your connection. Under the Autotask User Credentials section, you can input or change your user credentials. As you see, there is another option to test credentials, and this is recommended before proceeding. You will need to have other users that will be using the Autotask integration go into their own instance of QuoteWerks Web, click on Setup, then My Preferences. On the Contact Manager tab, they will need to input and test their own credentials. It's important that all of this information is input accurately, as this is what creates the connection between Autotask and QuoteWerks Web. At the bottom of the Autotask page, you will see links for integration settings and DataLink. We'll begin by clicking on Integration Settings, and this will open the Autotask Settings page. Here we have 4 sections: General, Opportunities, Product Data Source, and QuoteValet. Under General, we can adjust our purchase order, notifications, and user impersonation settings. For purchase orders, we can choose our purchase order integration. If using Autotask to export purchase orders, you will want to make sure this option is checked. Likewise, if you plan to use QuoteWerks to track receipt of inventory, you also want to make sure Sync Received Items to Autotask is selected. QuoteWerks has the ability to alert you of any opportunities created in Autotask that need a quote in QuoteWerks. Under Notifications, you can set the opportunity stage of opportunities you would like to be notified of in QuoteWerks. And under User Impersonation, you can enable impersonation, which will allow API users to add and edit items on behalf of another resource or Autotask user. If you plan on using impersonation, please contact QuoteWerks Technical Support for assistance. The next section is the Opportunities section. This is where you set how you want QuoteWerks to handle order conversion, integration defaults, product mapping, and how to write items into the Autotask opportunity. The first section under Opportunities is General. The first option is choosing when you want to set the opportunity to closed in Autotask. You can select to do so when converting a quote to an order, to an invoice, or never. Most would choose to convert the opportunity to closed when the quote is converted to an order, but this gives you the flexibility to do things differently if you choose to do so. You also have the ability to set default item types for items where there are no item types specified. And under Autotask Opportunity Advanced Fields, you can set for each item type what QuoteWerks fields you would like to send to Autotask Advanced Fields. The next section under Opportunities is the Default section. Here you can set the default category, stage, and status for opportunities. These can be set for both new and existing opportunities. The last section under Opportunities is Quote Products. Here you can set options for adding quote items to the Autotask quote, including empty part number handling and mappings. Under Defaults for empty part numbers, you can set the default part number you wish to use when a product, group bundle header, or charge line is included in an opportunity but does not have a part number assigned to it. You also have the option to create a single summary line for bundles and to include the first payment for recurring products in document totals. To enable either of these options, simply click the checkbox next to the setting. Under Mappings, you can choose which QuoteWerks field to map the Autotask item number to and how to generate them if one does not exist, how to handle item types, allocation codes, shipping, and categories, as well as what should be sent to Autotask description. Here you have the granularity to map each item type to a specific attribute. For example, if I click on Map Quote Item Type, you can see that there are prompts to map the QuoteWerks item type to its Autotask counterpart. Each of these settings pulls information from your Autotask environment, and how you set up these defaults will be based on your specific workflows. If we click back into Integration Settings, the next section is the Product Data Source section. QuoteWerks can use the Autotask products, services, bundles, and labor/roles database items that are already in Autotask, so you do not have to import them and maintain them in 2 different systems. I'll review how to set up the Autotask product data source later in this video, but want to highlight this page as it gives you the ability to, by database, set the item type, tax code, and tax region. Clicking back to the integration settings page, the last section to review is the QuoteValet section. Clicking into the QuoteValet page, we see the options as to what we want to include as links and the opportunity in Autotask. Here we can opt to include the internal and external QuoteValet links, a link to the QuoteValet sales rep facing page, and a link to the QuoteValet acceptance package. To include any of these, just make sure the corresponding checkboxes are checked. If we click back to the main Autotask integration page, you'll notice DataLink directly below the integration settings link. DataLink allows you to push or pull additional fields between QuoteWerks Web and Autotask. So if you want to pull additional information from the Autotask system into your QuoteWerks document, or push additional field or line item information from QuoteWerks to Autotask, you can do that through the DataLink. For example, if we click on the DataLink option, this will bring us to the DataLink page. We'll click on the gold button to create a new mapping, and all we're doing is essentially copying data from Autotask into QuoteWerks or from QuoteWerks into Autotask. This allows more information to flow between the two systems. So for example, if I wanted to pull additional information from Autotask into QuoteWerks, I first want to choose the event, action, or context. In this case, I will make it so that an action will be taken when I receive the contact information into the sold to field. I then need to choose my external system, which in this example is Autotask. We're going to select Read into QuoteWerks, and then I'm going to choose the Autotask field that I want to pull into QuoteWerks. In this case, let's say that when I retrieve my sold to contact info, I want to read the payment terms field into QuoteWerks. I can do this by setting my external system field as source to payment terms, and my QuoteWerks field as destination to terms. When I hit OK, it will save this data link and will be now listed in the DataLink setup page. As mentioned earlier in this video, QuoteWerks can use the Autotask products, services, bundles, and labor/roles database items that are already in Autotask so that you do not have to import and maintain your items in two systems. To set up this connection, navigate to Setup and click on Product Data Sources. This will open up the Product Data Source Setup window. Select a New button and then select Autotask Products from the drop-down menu and click Next. On the mapping window, this is where you can map the Autotask product fields with the QuoteWerks product lookup fields. They're already mapped for you and you shouldn't have to change these, but if you want to switch any of the field mappings, this is a step that you would make those changes. Click Next and give your database a name. By default, it'll be Autotask Products. Click Next and you'll be on the Set Column Titles page. Here you can change column titles and name them as you see fit. When you click Next, you'll be brought to the Set Access Rights page. This is where you can designate who has the ability to use the Autotask item list as their product data source. Once you have this set, click Next. Then finally, click Finish, and you'll see Autotask Products is available here. If we close out of this window and we go to our product lookup window, you'll see our Autotask database is available here, and you can now search for the Autotask items directly in QuoteWerks and use them in your quotes and orders moving forward. If you wanted to add additional Autotask databases, like services or labor, simply repeat these steps, making sure to select the name and database appropriately. As you've seen, setting up the Autotask integration is relatively easy and should only take a couple of minutes, but its extensibility is quite powerful. For instructions or assistance with setting up the integration, please see the QuoteWerks help files or contact the support team at 407-248-1481.